AI can now run your campaigns. It can write your ad copy. It can allocate your budget across channels. It can optimize your bids in real time, faster than you can read this sentence. So let's ask the uncomfortable question, out loud. What exactly is left for the media buyer to do? I'm going to give you the honest answer to that question, not the reassuring LinkedIn version and not the fear-mongering doom version either. The real answer. Right now, there are two camps on this. Camp 1 says AI is just a tool. The media buyer is fine. Relax, your job is safe, stop catastrophizing. Camp 2 says the role is dead. AI is taking everything. Start updating your resume. Both camps are wrong. And I'm going to show you exactly why, with actual data, not vibes. By the end of this video, you'll know 3 things. Which parts of the media buyer role are already gone? Which parts are actively evolving? And most importantly, what you need to do right now if you work in paid media, if you run a marketing team, or if you're spending real money on ads and you want to know who you actually need in the room. Let's get into it. Let's start with what's actually happening inside the ad platforms, because it's significantly more advanced than most people running ads day-to-day realize. Take Meta Advantage Plus. When it launched, the big story was basic audience expansion. The algorithm could broaden your targeting a little. Fine, cool, that was 3 years ago. Today, Advantage Plus strips away detailed interest targeting entirely. It removes lookalike audiences. It removes most manual age and gender restrictions. You upload your creative assets, you set a budget, and Meta's AI goes and finds buyers. Under the hood, this is powered by a deep neural network called Meta Andromeda. And here's the number that should actually stop you for a second. Andromeda evaluates tens of millions of ad-to-user matches per impression. Not per day, not per hour, per impression. Google is doing the same thing, but across an even wider surface area. Performance Max, one campaign type, puts your ads across Google Search, Shopping, YouTube, Display, Gmail, and Maps simultaneously. One campaign. AI handles bidding, placement, audience matching, and creative testing across all of it. But here's where the story gets a layer deeper. In February 2026, Meta went one step further. They embedded an autonomous AI agent called Manus AI directly inside Ads Manager. What does it do? Report building, audience research, campaign analysis. The tasks that used to eat hours of a media buyer's week, now happening inside the platform you're already logged into on demand in minutes. And here's the scale of what's coming. Business Insider reported that AI-powered advertising in the United States is projected to grow 63% in 2026. Not from some startup ecosystem. From Google, Meta, TikTok, the platforms every brand in America is already spending on. This isn't a trend, it's infrastructure. So let's get precise. Because when I say AI has taken over media buying tasks, I want to name exactly which tasks, so we're not being vague. There are 3 distinct layers of the traditional media buyer job that are largely automated already. Layer 1, bid management, real-time bid adjustments based on behavioral signals, device type, time of day, location, search intent, browsing history. AI handles all of this faster, at larger scale, and more accurately than any human ever could. There's no real debate here. Human manual bidding is genuinely inferior to what the platform's algorithms do today. Layer 2, audience targeting. The craft of building audience segments, interest stacks, demographic layers, lookalikes, exclusions, was the core skill set of a great media buyer for over a decade. Platforms have largely absorbed that work. Their algorithms have access to behavioral data you will never have direct visibility into, and they use it better than any manual setup you can build. Layer 3, performance reporting, pulling spend numbers, calculating ROAS, building the weekly update deck, aggregating cross-platform data. Teams that have implemented AI automation for reporting are seeing a 60 to 87% reduction in time spent on these tasks. Now, I want to pause here and say something important. Because this didn't happen overnight, it happened task by task, quarter by quarter. Bid automation first, then dynamic creative testing, then lookalike expansion, then AI audience broadening, then reporting agents. Each update felt like just a feature release. But when you stack all of them on top of each other, you've methodically automated most of the repeatable, execution-heavy mechanics of the job. And most of the people doing those jobs didn't see it accumulating. Okay, let's talk about what this is doing to the actual job market. Because this is where the conversation gets real, and where I want to give you numbers rather than opinions. Bureau of Labor Statistics data from May 2025 showed the advertising, PR, and related services sector at 488,600 total jobs in the United States. That sounds okay. Until you compare it to 12 months earlier. That's a 9.9% drop, year over year. In 1 year, 54,000 positions gone. And on the brand side, a Typeface survey found that 60% of US senior marketing leaders said they spent less on agencies in 2025 directly because of AI, not because of budget cuts, not because of a recession, because they moved work in-house or automated it. Now, before you spiral, here's the other side of the data that almost nobody in these conversations talks about. PwC's 2025 Global AI Jobs Barometer found that wages are actually rising faster in industries most exposed to AI revenue growth. In AI-exposed sectors has nearly quadrupled since 2022, and the Bureau of Labor Statistics itself projects that advertising employment will grow 8% from 2023 to 2033, faster than the US average across all occupations. So the honest picture looks like this. The raw job count is shrinking, but the value of the remaining roles is climbing. Fewer seats at the table, but the people in those seats are doing more sophisticated work, with more leverage and being compensated accordingly. That's not comforting if you're doing the execution work that AI has absorbed, but it's actually a really strong signal. If you understand which direction to move, this is the block that matters most. Because for all the automation happening inside platforms, there are things AI fundamentally cannot do in paid media. And these aren't minor gaps around the edges. These are the highest value parts of the entire discipline. Number 1, strategy. AI can optimize what already exists. It cannot define what should exist. It cannot decide which market segment your brand should own. It cannot decide that you've been targeting the wrong customer entirely and your offer needs to be repositioned. It cannot craft your brand's distinctive promise. If you hand Meta Advantage Plus 3 versions of mediocre creative, it will optimize the least mediocre one. It will do that brilliantly, but it cannot tell you that your positioning is wrong. It cannot tell you to stop. Number 2, macro context. The AI has no idea your brand just had a reputation problem over the weekend. It doesn't know your biggest competitor just filed for bankruptcy. And this is the moment to aggressively capture their customer base. It doesn't know a news event tomorrow will make your entire ad campaign tone-deaf. Even in 2026, AI tools still struggle with brand-sensitive creative decisions, knowing when an AI-generated asset violates brand tone, and with macro market context. Knowing when to pull spend before a crisis hits is still entirely a human call. Number 3, genuinely new creative thinking. AI is extraordinary at iterating on creative that already exists, testing 40 headline variations of the same angle. Perfect use of AI, but generating a creative angle that has never been tested in your category, one that comes from a deep understanding of what your customer actually worries about. That is not coming from an AI system. Not reliably, not yet. And here's the most important thing I want you to hear in this entire video. The media buyers who are valuable right now are not the ones who are best at operating inside Ads Manager. They're the ones who understand the business well enough to set the right inputs for the AI, which means you're not picking bid strategies anymore. You're defining what the business actually needs to achieve. You're deciding, are we optimizing for new customer acquisition or retention? You're connecting paid media decisions to unit economics, to lifetime value, to margin, to the full picture. You're feeding the algorithm the right signals. Get those inputs wrong, the AI optimizes, brilliantly and efficiently toward the completely wrong outcome. It becomes a machine for wasting your budget at scale. Get them right? The AI multiplies your strategy at a scale no human team could ever match on their own. So let's talk about what the media buyer role actually looks like in 2026. For the people who are thriving in it. They are not platform technicians. They are system architects. They understand measurement at a level that goes well beyond what the ad platform dashboards report. Not what does Meta say our ROAS was measurement, but real measurement. Incrementality testing, market mix modeling. The ability to tell the difference between what a platform reports and what actually caused a business outcome. And this is where I want to connect directly to what we cover on this channel. If you're a media buyer, MMM is not something your analytics team does in the background that doesn't concern you. Market mix modeling is becoming your biggest competitive advantage. Here's why. When the AI is running your campaigns, the tactical question, "Are my campaigns optimized?" is largely handled. The AI is on it. But the strategic question shifts to something much harder. Are we allocating budget across channels in a way that actually drives incremental business value? That is a measurement question. That is an MMM question, and that is still, very much, a human question. Free MMM readiness checklist is in the description. 25 checkpoints, 5 minutes, tells you where your measurement setup stands. That is the skill AI cannot replace. Link below in the description. The media buyers who are getting compressed right now are the ones whose entire professional value was in the execution layer. Manual optimization, platform navigation, report pulling. The AI has moved into that layer and it's not leaving. The ones who are thriving are operating in the outer rings. Strategy, measurement, understanding what's actually driving revenue versus what the platform wants you to believe is driving revenue. Those are very different things, and that gap is where the real value lives right now. So, the direct answer to the question in the title, will AI replace media buyers? For the media buyer whose job was setting bids manually, building audience segments by hand, and pulling weekly performance reports, yes, that version of the role is largely gone, or going fast. For the media buyer who understands how to give an AI system the right business objectives, who knows how to set up real measurement, not platform-reported metrics, but actual causal measurement, who can look beyond dashboards and connect paid media to what's driving real business outcomes. That person is more valuable right now than they have been at any point in the last decade. The ceiling moved. It used to sit over execution. Now it sits over strategy and measurement. The question is, which side of that ceiling you're operating on? If you want to understand the measurement side, the MMM piece, the incrementality testing piece, the tools that tell you what's actually driving your business versus what the platforms want you to believe. That's exactly what this channel is about. Every video here is building that foundation. Hit subscribe, drop your take in the comments. I want to know. Do you think AI is overhyped here, or is the threat more real than most people admit? Next video is one I think every marketer and media buyer needs to see. See you there.